Okay, you guys, this is Sonia, your girl creations. I have just been challenged by my friend Silva. She says that we are going to have a $10 budget and we are going to make a journal for $10. So whatever I find plus whatever's in my house, and I'm not going to use a whole bunch of like my art supplies that I know people don't really have. I'm going to get $10 worth of stuff and I'm just going to try to make a journal and we're going to compare what we came up with. Okay, you guys, I am at the Dollar Tree. I have a lot of paint and stuff already at my house. But I'm going to try to do this from the perspective of people who don't have like 8 million paints. But I mean, I do have a lot of paint already. So I'm not sure if I'm going to buy paint in here, but I will show you guys like how much it costs or whatever. I'm going to basically go into this Dollar Tree and try to find things that will enhance. So like most people have some kind of paper at their house. So everything at the store doesn't have to be the source of everything for the book. But if you were like, oh, I have a notebook or I have paper at my house, just like the average person who doesn't have an 8 million art supplies, such as myself, that's the goal. But I'm here at the Dollar Tree. Let me see. I don't know how to flip the camera, so I'm at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go in here and find some things that will basically, I think, enhance just blank pieces of paper, I think. I don't know. I think the difference between me and Silva is she already has a vision and she's very clear on what her vision is. I'm more loosey-goosey, kind of flexible, and I'm going to go in here and be like, what can I do with what I find? So we'll see. I'm not sure, but I think these are pretty. They might be a cool cover. And also, this is pretty. I think would be cool to make stamps with. Plus, I think I want to use this on a jelly plate. So I'm not sure still, but that's 150. Okay, so Silva was looking for blenders, beauty blenders in the store. She got lucky and was able to find the foam ones. But if she couldn't find them, these foam rollers would have been a good alternative. She could also use this as a blender, really reusable too. That's a good idea for me. She could use these little felt pads as blenders too. The possibilities are endless in the dollar store. So if you're lucky, your dollar store has a craft section and they have lots of things to choose from, but we're on a budget. So let's see if I find anything that I think would be interesting to add to the journal. Ooh, this is a really unnecessary thing, but I really like tags in my journal. I think these would be really cool to add. That's a possibility. These are cute too. Ooh, chalkboard tags. Maybe I should think of a theme. This is where I get into trouble. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I need to think hard about what I want this thing to look like. Oh, look, even they have washi tape. So you can get washi tape at the dollar store and use that to decorate it too. I already have a whole box of washi tape, but here you go. Let's see, what else? Oh my God, I get so excited in here. They have so much craft stuff. Here are your paint brushes if you don't have paint. If you don't have paintbrushes. There's your ink pads if you want to stamp some stuff. These kind of brushes are real good for glue. They're all like little throwaway brushes if they get too gummed up and you can't wash them out, but they're good to have. Let's look at the paint. They have glitter glue. Oh my stars. Look at this iridescent. I like that. I don't think I need this. for what I'm doing, and I don't actually have this at home, but she wanted to decoupage. They even have Mod Podge here. Ooh, so many ideas. Here is the paint. Oh, she just showed me at her store they had these big bottles of paint. This acrylic? This is tempera paint. That's not acrylic. I don't know. That's different. That's like what little kids use in elementary school. This is better because these are actually acrylic paint. I like this bright green. I might get that. I don't have that color. I kind of feel like seeing all these neon colors, like doing an 80s theme book, but I don't know. Before I came in here, I was thinking about something nature related, so I don't know. I got those little butterflies still in my cart. I might do that. Anybody who just wants to start crafting, they got canvases in all sizes. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing a book, so we're going to concentrate on what we can get. I really like these stickers. I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking spring. I have these stamps at home already, but you could get stamps and use those too. I actually have all of these stamps, but I don't have these, and these would be pretty. You can even get cardstock already here. They have these. A pack of these. How many come in here? 20. So was that 10 cards? That's 10 cards, 10 envelopes. I should make my whole journal out of this. That might be an idea. Even though I already had paper. I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking. Okay, so I think I found this thing hanging up, right? And I think this, as far as a cover, this might be really pretty. I like that it's so soft. But I think this is a pretty cover. If I go with this idea, then this would be the color scheme that I'd be concentrating on. So I have blue paint at the house. And I have white paint at the house. So I'm not going to buy paint because that would just be crazy for me to just be buying stuff I already have. But I don't know. So far, I think this is the direction I'm going to go in. And I'm still thinking about using envelopes, but I actually already have a bunch of envelopes at my house. But if you were a person who didn't have envelopes, you could get these for just $1, $1.25, I think. So I think I might add those. I'm not gonna go wild. I think this look is kind of elegant, so I'm not gonna go crazy with a bunch of stuff. These butterflies I'm not going to use unless they have some butterflies that are in this color scheme. Maybe I could incorporate them, but I'm thinking I might put them back. I think I'm going to get this bigger bottle of the deep blue because, oh, sorry, it's out of focus. Maybe I could use it to paint some of my pages. I just realized that these beads are on here. I'm definitely going to add that to the journal. And also, I think this will help me be able to incorporate like craft paper. So I can have like a rustic feel in this. So it doesn't have to just, I was going to use recycled papers, right? So this will make the craft paper, you know, look like it belongs and not something crazy. But I mean, it's going to be a junk journal, so yeah. But anyway, I'm going to get the blue paint. I already have cornstarch at home, so if the paint is too thin, I can thicken it up. But I like the dark blue, and I only have a small tube of that at home. I like to come over here to the, let's see, to like the school supply area because they always have cute stuff. Putting something back. They always have cute little things. like these little push pins. I think I could use those for stuff. Really, I think they'd be nice on this journal, but I don't know really how I would use them. Sometimes I just be wanting to buy stuff. But these are really cute. So you can get lots of ideas in this section. Let me see. These would just be for embellishments anyway. Because I think I got my cover. I got my cover sussed out. I'm going to use some found papers at the house. So just look for little extras. Okay, so they have lots of regular envelopes, which I have a ton of those. And packing papers, which would be really cool to use. But I am going to be using upcycled paper that I got from my Amazon packaging, but that's pretty much the same thing. I see lots of ideas, but I'm trying to stay on this theme. Okay, y'all, I think I went too far. I do want to get these cards, but they're $3. And I think I have enough stuff that I'm already at $10. So I'm going through my basket and let's see. I don't know how much everything actually costs, so I'm just going to say $2 maybe for everything. This is probably like $1 something, so I'm just going to say 2 for 6, 8, 10. So if everything is like $1 and some change, I'm probably at $10. I kind of want these, even though I don't really need them. And I actually think I had some of these at my house, but most people wouldn't have these at their house, so I would get them, but they absolutely are not necessary. So I think I might get these and go to the checkout. So we'll see. Okay, you guys, I got everything I needed and I stayed under the $10. I actually spent $9.01. Okay, so now we about to get home and make this journal. We went to Dollar Tree and I'm going to show you the things that I purchased. Let's see. I bought a sketch pad so I can have some paper. And I'm also going to use some found paper, like paper that I already had laying around the house. But this will be like the base of the journal, right? I might even use this, the cardboard. I feel like that would be helpful. And I might use this because this is just a really cool picture. If I don't use it in this journal, I'm definitely going to use it in something else. This was the unnecessary purchase, but I found out that I was still under $10, so I got it anyway. These little doilies, I think they're super cute, and they always look cute in journals. They are also really good to use like for stencils and stuff, which I think I'm going to do today. So I got tissue paper. I got this really because my friend Silva, when she was at this store, she was looking for napkins. She wanted pretty napkins. And I was trying to explain to her that you buy one pack of napkins because it has a pretty design, but the design is really only on the front of the napkin. It's never really all over the whole napkin. Like when you unfold a napkin, the design is not there. So, and you have to go through the drama of peeling the napkin apart. But you could just get like a pack of multicolored tissues for the same price. I have 35 sheets of tissue. And the tissues are huge. Like, let me put this down. Let me just show you. Because I'm trying to prove my point to Silva. I know if she sees this, she's going to be laughing. But look how big oh, yo. Look, I even had a sheet that had glitter on it included. Come on now. But you get this whole big piece of paper as opposed to a napkin, and you get 35, look at it, 35 big piece. I have the tissue paper, and I bought a sketch pad in case people are just new. I also, because although I do have a huge collection of paint, I didn't have this pretty color, not a big thing anyway, so I got this at the dollar store, and it's a nice size bottle, and it's acrylic paint too. This is 6 ounces, and the color is deep blue. So I got this. I didn't get glue because most people have glue, so I'm just gonna use glue. And yo, this is the really cool stuff. I got this. What is this? This is a dish towel, a kitchen towel. I got this. It was really, really pretty. It's very soft, but it's not like super nappy. But the colors are so vivid. I'm going to use this for the cover of my journal. So this is a unconventional material, but I'm going to use this. And then I also found this little trinket at the dollar store, and I also think I'm going to put this on the cover. So the cover is going to be really pretty, and it's going to be simple. It's going to be like this, and then I'm going to have this. I think that's enough, and I might use these beads as some kind of accent on the journal too. I'm also, because I have these white beads and these brown beads on here, I feel like that's an invitation to mix in some craft paper, which I have, and I'm going to mix that in this. And you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. That's my thing. We don't have to spend money on a whole bunch of supplies, even though I have to admit I do have a lot of stuff. But I mean, I am I am creative. I've been doing this forever. But if you're just like, oh, I think I seen something on TikTok or on YouTube that I think I want to try, you don't have to go crazy and go to the store and buy every little thing you see these people have, and just use what you have. That's the whole point of this journal. I'm trying to tell people you can just find some stuff around your house, use what you have, and get started with that. And then if you feel like you like it, then go ahead and spend some more money on stuff. So let's get started making the journal. The first process was to sort through my assortment of papers in order to make the signatures. I had some cleanup sheets from old paint projects that I used. I had some blank copy paper that I used that I intend to hand paint. I had a couple strips of fabric, some used envelopes that I had planned on upcycling, as well as some grocery bags, and also like some origami paper. So I used a lot of the paper for just the base of the signature, and then I used a combination of fabric scraps, origami paper, and magazine pictures that I had clipped out to collage on some of the sheets and some of the envelopes that I was used for pockets. And I also hand painted a lot of the pages, including stencils and creating like a dry brush border around the blank copy pages. I used a 3-hole pamphlet binding for each signature, and that's how the inside of the journal was constructed. So the next process in making the journal was to construct the cover. And for the cover, I used a grocery bag. So the journal is a soft cover, but it's not flimsy because I actually stuck cardboard inside each side of the grocery bag. So it's stiff, but not very stiff. So it's still kind of like it's got some give. It's semi-soft, I guess, cover. I used cardboard that I got from the sketch pad that I had purchased at Dollar Tree. And I think for the other side, it was some cardboard that I had left over from probably another book or something. Like I kind of keep some cardboard in my studio. So I also covered the inside with some grocery bags that I had painted so that it wouldn't show like the Dollar Tree logo on the inside. And also just to give it some visual appeal, as well as a better writing surface, like if you wanted to write your name or something on the inside of the journal. I used art glitter glue because it's a really good glue that I have in my studio already. But you could just as easily use just regular Elmer's glue and get the same effect. I think it's pretty good for just having like craft paper on like more craft paper. So it's not like it's a special surface or anything. So just the regular glue that you would use for your kids' school projects is good enough for this part of the process. I'd like to take this time to address sewing in the signatures, because this is one thing that I forgot, that like if you're just starting out and you are on a tight budget, make sure when you go to the dollar store, especially if they have like that craft section, or like actually I even know Walmart has it, you need a thicker thread. So don't use regular sewing thread like you would use to sew your clothes. Get either embroidery floss or I forget the name of it, but in the craft section you'll see there's like a kind of thicker thread and it has like a waxy surface. They have it at like all the Dollar Tree sections that I've seen that have craft supplies, and they also have it at Walmart. So make sure you factor that into your budget. Get that thick thread. Get also, if you can, find a sewing needle with a big eye. But if you can't find that, you can actually use a paper clip as the needle and just kind of fashion it in the shape of like a bobby pin. Or actually, well, a bobby pin has a little part that sticks up, but you can fashion the paper clip into the shape of a bobby pin and put the floss through it and just fit it through the hole. So I'd say the thread is more important to have on hand than the needle. I just wanted to make that part clear because I think I forget that everybody wouldn't necessarily have like that thick thread, but you don't use sewing thread like sewing for clothes because it's too thin. Okay, so after I added the inside cover, it was time to add the dish towel as the outside cover. And here you can see the cardboard that I had mentioned earlier. So one of the pieces was obviously too big and I had to cut it down to fit inside. I wanted to make sure they were obviously the same size. And then after that, I slid the cardboard into each half of the bag that was used for the cover. In here, I am using the fabric as the additional reinforcement for the spine. And after that, it was time to just make sure I had the cover fabric distributed evenly so that it could fold inside on the top and on the insides and the bottom evenly. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to stretch the fabric on all four sides as needed before cutting it. So I measured it a couple times just to be sure. After I was satisfied with the measurements of the fabric and it was cut, I needed to determine where the ornament would go on the cover. I also added some blue paint to bring out the design more. And I removed the beads from the ornament as well because I decided to use those as a decorative tassel on the spine of the cover. So after I decided where the placement should be for the ornament, I added glue to the back so that it would stick to the fabric and not move. But I was also going to sew it in place. I took the time to take the beads that I'd removed and I restrung them on the tassel that was on the ornament. And I added some fabric around the top of it. And that tassel would later be attached to a safety pin that could be a removable tassel on the spine of the journal. All 4 sides of the fabric was stretched and glued around the edges of the book. I used binder clips to keep them in place until the glue dried. I also closed the book and put like books on top of it to weight it down so that it would kind of set the fabric in place, because I found if you apply like a fabric to the cover and you leave it open to dry, then the book won't necessarily stay closed. But if you close it and set it closed, when everything dries, the book will stay closed easier and you won't have to like keep pushing it through. So it's better to let it dry with the weight on top so everything will be set in place. Okay, so I think I proved my point that you can make a journal with very little money if you're just starting this this hobby. But now, since my point was made, it's time for me to do all the extra things that makes my journal special. So I hand sewed the cover around the book, and after that I added some extra bells and whistles using the art supplies that I have in my studio. Some of those things included extra paints, obviously. So in this journal, every page has been touched by my hand, right? So I've either dry brushed a border around it, or I took the stencils and added like embellishments on the pages. I also added some tags that I made. A lot of those tags have been either embellished with sewing, a border that I sewed around it, or some hand sewing. I have like some vellum embellishments inside. So my part was adding a lot of extra touches that I like to make my journal special, because this journal is going to be for sale on my shop, shopygc.com, and it is going to also come with a special gift. So it's a bundle. And if you guys like what you see, please go to the link in the description and purchase it and support me as an emergent artist. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick, it wasn't really a tutorial, but kind of a tutorial. And I hope that you are inspired to make your own journal and don't spend a lot of money. Just use the things around you and you will be surprised what you can come up with. So I'm going to close this journal, not close the journal, I'm going to close this video with a flip through, and you can see all of the pages in the journal. And afterwards you can go to the website and purchase it if you want, or share it with your friends. Maybe someone you know would like this journal. And I just thank you for watching. So enjoy the flip through, and I hope to see you guys again. Thank you.